Hi, come on in. We are doing our Friday feature on how to be a boho Bada with home, holiday, and event decor. So come on in. I'm going to try to pull up comments so that I can see them. And our first make, so we're going to do a lot of different things. We're going to try different mediums, different textures, all the different things. We're going to experiment and play with the whole boho feel, vibe, all the things when it comes to whether you're decorating your home, whether it's a holiday or even something like a wedding or something like that. So tonight we're going to start with a somewhat easy and simple design, and that's going to be a hat. So a hat wreath. And so really it's just getting in the idea that anything can really be a wreath, right? And how you can take those things and manipulate them and use tactics and tips and all the things to still be able to adhere your florals and all of that so that it does not take away from the hat and all the good things. So come on in. I'm happy to share this with you. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the hat that I'm going to use tonight is actually from Walmart. I like this little style, right? So it's got a little bit of a bolero feel to it, but it has a little bit of, I don't know, I wouldn't call it really like Southwestern or Aztec, but it's got a pattern on it. So I've already gotten started on the wire and things like that, but I'm going to show you exactly how we got here. And I only did this so you didn't have to see me struggle, because this is not always easy. All right, so I'm going to show you a couple different hat styles that you can definitely go with. And you can see I've got some on clearance. So this is a really cute like fedora type hat. Would be adorable if you had some type of like small arrangement up here that just had maybe even just like pampas or feathers and pheasant feathers and things like that. So this would make a really cute you know, hat arrangement, and you could keep it small and simple. So like this, and I love the white. And then the other one is more of like that beach style, and I have made a couple of hats like this. One I did in more of like a coastal boho vibe, and that is something that, sorry, my middle son's home from college for the weekend, and everybody's very excited. So that's my little guy, pretty excited. So anyway, I love these because you can go with even like a garden style, or like I said, I've done this more like a beachy coastal boho style. So hi Dawn, hey, how are you? Thanks for being here. So I've used this as well, but tonight we're going to use this more like a little bit of a bolero, but somewhat of a cowboy bolero maybe look. So this is the hat. Now you can orient it up and down like this, or you can go this way. There is no wrong way, right? So I'm gonna go this way so that we're decorating this side. Okay? So I'm gonna take my tag off, and then I'll show you how I got here. How you doing, Dawn? What's going on, lady? All right. So I have used some floral wire that I've gotten from Walmart. Love this. This is the thinner gauge wire. This is the thicker one. This is 18 gauge, and I don't remember what this one is, but it's thinner. I've used this one today. So what I've done is I've taken my knife. So this is my knife I keep in my craft room. It looks like a bread knife, yes. But I use it to cut things off of like my gaps and cracks patties that I use for extra floral foam and things like that. So it makes a nice tool. I have used the tip of this to poke a hole here and here. And I've run one piece of wire through that, through the back, right? And then I've used the same tip to do a hole here and then over here. And I've run one wire from there to there. Okay, so I'll show you that again. I've used the tip of the knife to do a hole here and then up here. And that is one wire that's fed underneath here, right? That runs to those two. And then I did a hole here and a hole here, and there's a wire here that's fed in through that. Okay, so it's basically making an X. And you can see here. So now what we do is we take our, I've already cut this so that you didn't have to hear it on the video, on the live. So I went ahead and cut this to size, And what I did was I just kind of looked at the area that I want to adorn, and I just cut this patty down to that size. So I have the flat end so that I can put it down on the flat brim of the hat. And I'm going to use hot glue. But before I do any of that, I'm going to take sheet moss and I'm going to cover this patty. Okay. Now I prefer sheet moss. So let's just make sure you can see here. Sorry. There we go. I'll go over here. And it is nice that if you're going to work with these kinds of hats that are a little bit like that felty material, that you have a lint brush around, because you are going to get stuff on it. Whether it's the flowers or the moss or whatever. All right, so I love this sheet moss because it covers everything perfectly, and you don't have to worry about, you know, shedding moss, like as far as like Spanish moss and things like that, and U-pins and all the things, because U-pins on these hats will normally pierce through the other side, and you know, so I'm just peeling it off. This is the adhesive end, and so this is the part that's going to go face down, right? So let's go, hold on, let's keep it like this. There we go, because we don't necessarily need moss on the part that's going to get glued down. So let's go like that. All right, so all I'm doing is to see, I'm just covering this. I'm coming right back to this part. This is going to be the part that glues down, right? I'm keeping the paper on it so that what's left over can just stay right here and I can use it the next time. And I'm using my non-ribbon scissors. That is very, very important if you are a new crafter or maker, that you have scissors that are for ribbon and fabric, and that you have scissors that are for all the other things. All right, so I'm just gonna squeeze this down, make sure we're covering all the things. And I do have a little bit of an exposed spot there, so, oh, wait, there it is. I was like, what happened to the little piece I just had? So this is where these are perfect. So just cut a little piece off, and then we just patch it together. And then there we go. So we have our little moss patty, and then it doesn't matter if like a little tiny bit is exposed. I mean, you can cover it up, but the likelihood is that you're gonna have this covered up with flowers, but we'll go ahead and we'll do it just to be safe. So there and there. All right. So there we go. So this is still, there's no moss or anything like that. So I'm gonna take my glue gun. I'm going to give this a nice dose of glue. Okay. And then I'm going to go right in here in this nice little spot that I have saved that's in between these wires, right? We're just going to hold that down and let that dry for a minute so it gets a nice good hold. Dawn, what are you doing? Are you making something? You hanging out and making something too? I need to get started on Christmas. All right. So now that we have that on there, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to tie together our wires. So this is like our X. So the glue was the first layer of security. There we go. We'll go like this. I'm just trying to make sure you have a good enough angle down. I should have thought about that. There we go. I think you can see it good enough. All right. So the glue was the first level of security, right? Now we're going in for the second one, which is now we're going to crisscross applesauce these ties. Just bread tie them together tight as you can. And so this is the second layer of security. But we're not done yet. All right, so I make sure that's on there good and tight. You don't want it loose. Okay, and then go in with this one. So this wire here, we're going to do the same thing, right? Twist, twist, twist. Twist, twist, twist. All right. If you are commenting and I can't see it, I'm not sure why, but a lot of times my YouTube videos go up as unlisted. And I'm not sure if that setting is not letting maybe some of you comment. Every time I do it, I say that I want it to be public, but somehow, some way it uploads and it says that it's private. So if you can't comment, just wait until, you know, if there's a question or something that you have, maybe it's some kind of an odd setting, and then tomorrow when I have it uploaded for public, you'll be able to. You should, anyway. So I'll see if I can't find out what the deal is. All right, so like I said, we're not done yet. That's because the thing is especially if you are gifting or if you are making to sell, one of the most important things to do is to cover up your mechanics. And your mechanics are how all the things are put together underneath of here, right? So first of all, I built a couple of these hats, and I know that I like to stuff these babies. I like stuff in them, right? And so a lot of times as you get more stuff in it, this hat will weaken a little bit. So what I have learned, especially here on this side, right? Because there's nothing there holding it. So what I have learned is before I cover up my mechanics, look, I just threw away my phone. I forgot why I had it there. I take a little, basically this is like a shim. Basically a shim of foam, right? And what I do is I take that little shim of foam and I put it up against the wall of the hat, the inside of the hat, right here, right? And all I do is I'm just putting it on with hot glue. This thing is not going to hold any flowers, nothing. It is just going to provide support as we are going to build some weight onto this hat through florals and things like that. Okay, so we're just giving it a little help. That's all. And this is going to have plenty of protection because then we cover up our mechanics. And I always use this 4-inch burlap ribbon that I get on Amazon. I love it. It's very cost effective, has a really nice wire, holds up well, super great neutral ribbon. But I also use it to cover up the mechanics on things like this, or also on my lasso wreaths. So I just make one strip this way and I glue that down, and then I take another strip and I go this way and glue that down. And then that way there's some stability on the back that's also hiding the mechanics of your wire. Okay, so hiding the mechanics is important first, then we get to make it pretty. All right, and then I am cutting out the tag. All right, I am gonna glue down this brim a little bit, just so that it doesn't keep pulling up. And then the one thing that we haven't done is the hanger. So we are gonna do that together. All right, so let's go in and cover this up. Just some good old hot glue. Now be careful if you are doing the same as me and you're using burlap, because it is porous, so all that hot glue is going to kind of ooze out. Okay, kids are playing. I can see you. Hey, how are you? Hey, Melissa. Hey, Lindsay. Hey. Now I can see your comments. I can see you now. I can see you. Thanks for being here. Lindsay, what are you gonna wear tomorrow? Are you gonna wear, like, I heard you say you were gonna wear your jammies, but
hey, did you call Garrett stupid?
Of course not, and I'm on YouTube. Why would you say that to me? Say hi. You're on YouTube. Hi, YouTube world.
Well, I heard that you texted Garrett that he was stupid.
I would never text him that.
Well,
you know that.
Well, he told me and Dad about it.
Crew Martin. Ask him to show you the receipts. What is that? I never text that child. What in the world? He is in this mood. He is like all protective of his brother tonight, which, I mean, hey, whatevs. So, you're wearing your PJs, your top, and a skirt. Right, girl. Yeah. Like, I'm going to text Garrett and say that to him. Come on now. Like, these boys here, I'm gonna tell you what. So I guess a little bit about me, YouTube world. I'm a mom of 3 boys. Hi.
I'm sorry for that.
That's okay. Apparently the receipts didn't get shown. There you go. I got an apology. I'll take it. But I'm a boy mom. I have 3 boys. My oldest is 24. My middle son, this is his first year in college. He's 18. And then that little fella that you just saw right there, that's Crew, and he is going to be 11 in just a few weeks. So, it's a little bit about me. So, I don't know, Lindsay. Okay, so so my jammies are always like, I have jammy bottoms, but I always just wear like t-shirts and stuff to bed. So I was almost like, well, I should just wear what I would wear, you know? I mean, obviously with proper attire. You know what I mean? Like we're not trying to get shut down on the Facebooks. You know, that sounds like some stuff that would happen on the tea at the tuck. You know what I mean? I don't know. If I can't sleep at night and I get on there and first it'll start out with like cooking shows, and then it's like the vortex starts, and somehow, some way, you're in this like weird, I don't know, and I'm like, what is happening? So I just shut it down. Like somehow I got some weird. All right. One last covering. Need a little bit more glue. Boop. We're gonna fix that. As far as it being straight, there's nothing wrong with it. All right. So this is just some extra enforcement. So we'll let that sit there, and then we'll go around the edges, make sure they're all kind of nice and glued down. And then there you go. You've got all of your mechanics hidden. You have made a nice solid base for all of your florals, no matter how much you put in there. It's going to look nice and have plenty of foam for the florals, but also a nice backing and substance for the side. Now here on this side, because you have now 2 layers of foam, you can use U-pins, these floral U-pins, as just an extra, making sure, you know, nothing gets loose, or, you know, because now it'll go through those 2 layers of foam. There we go. All right. Let's just glue these edges down. Now I have this pool noodle out because I did want to show you this is a nice alternative. You don't want to mess with floral foam. You can do the same exact method, or when I say floral foam, meaning like this gaps and cracks, or the dry floral foam. That's pretty messy as well. If you don't want to do that, a pool noodle, a good old pool noodle will do. You can do the same exact thing of wrapping it with sheet moss or Spanish moss, and it's perfect for florals. Perfect. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm getting new to the YouTube thing. I'm not getting new. I am new to the YouTube thing. I cannot talk. Gets to the end of the day, and I guess where I have just talked so much with work, it's like I just forget how to use English. I don't know. I start saying all kinds of things. Last night I told Eileen instead of I said she lived on Long Island, I said she lived in Long Island or something. I don't know. All right. I just want to make sure this is down. It's not going to flop around. And then the other thing, there, now you got your mechanics covered, right? So the other thing is we need a hanger. All right. So like I said, a lint brush is really, a lint roller is really good. So I'm going to have mine hanging this way. So my hanger needs to be here, right? So what I do is, this is where I like the thicker wire. So the thicker gauge, not the thinner. Okay. So, and then this is where you'll need this. You still need your little strip of burlap. So what you do is, without stabbing yourself, okay? So So this is the center point of your hat, right? So we're just going to have 2 points on either side of it as best we can because it's wire. So you're going to have a little bit of forgiveness. And again, without stabbing yourself. So I'm trying to make sure my fingers are straddled where it'll pierce through, not where it's going to pierce through. I'm watching. So now I can see the point. So see, the point has already pierced the fabric. So just make sure it's a good enough hole that this wire will slip right through. There you go. So there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So straddle. Be careful. If you're not good with this kind of stuff, get your husband or your friend or your coworker or your dad or your mom. It's just somebody in your life that you trust to do it. Okay, there. I can see the tip of the, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the tip of the knife. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. I have my fingers there. I know where the hole is, and then there we go. Okay, so now I know I showed you like that, but normally I have both of them running through this side. I lost my hole. There it is. That's the danger of the little black holes. Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh. I might have to do another one. I can't find it. It's like they seal right up on you. I don't know. It must be that magic of that felt. And if you're wondering, well, how are you going to disguise the fact that you have green wire on black felt? Well, that's because I already knew how I was designing this, and I'm going to have that covered up with florals and stuff. So the green wire is just going to blend in with those florals. But if that was not the case, and you were going smaller, you could use a black pipe cleaner, or you could spray paint your floral wire black so it blends in. I'm really struggling to get this one through there. It was so easy in the beginning, and then look, it's making a liar out of me. There it is. Come on. What are you snagging on? You just want to give me a time, don't you? We use this thinner gauge. There we go. Sometimes that thinner gauge is easier. Right now go through. I can feel it. Blessed. All right, well, you know what? Then we're going to do the stinking thinner wire. Goodness, I usually like the heavier wire, but if I'm going to have struggles, then you know what? We just do what we got to do and move on. But like I said, if you need it to be black because you're not, so there we go. So now we have this. Okay. And this is what it looks like from that side. So I'm going to have this covered up because of how my florals will all come up and they're going to kind of drape over this. But if you didn't, like I said, you could use black pipe cleaner. You could spray paint this black so that you don't see it. So you could do some things like that. You could also use like a piece of black ribbon or something like that to put over it. I got some glue on my fingernails. All right, so on this side, we're just simply going to, for me, I just fold it over itself over and over and over. And then I'll just clip off the excess at the end. So like this. And then when we're done, all right, so like that. So it's kind of like folded on itself. Then I just kind of clip off the excess, fold those under, so they're not sticking off, right? And then, okay, so then I give this little area a little dab of glue right there where the wire goes in. And then last piece of burlap, and that will go over that. So again, it's hiding your mechanics, right? And all they're gonna see is the hook to hold the wreath up. Okay? Okay. Whoop. And remember, the burlap is porous, so don't burn yourself. Hey, Michelle, what's up, girl? What are you doing on this Friday night? You making anything cool? What you working on? I love your pumpkin centerpieces that you've been working on. Everybody's been making such pretty stuff. This is the season. I'm excited for some Christmas makes. And I know some of our YouTube friends might be watching and they're like, what? It's August. Like, we're not even out of summer yet. Well, most of us that are on here are makers, or we are makers and we sell supplies. So like Melissa, she sells supplies. She sells beautiful florals, and in fact, I'm going to be using some tonight from Surrey Circle Home. So florals and greenery and designer ribbon and things like that. And then I know Michelle with LaFonda is a maker, and Lindsay's a creator as well. So, and Dawn's a creator. So come on in. You'll need to finish up fall. Yeah, I know, right? I kind of did the whole late start, which I just had a lot going on, right? Between Garrett and my space. Whoop. All right, so glue strings all over. And I just like to make sure, you know, nothing's kind of lifted up. I like it nice and neat, laid down. And then there you go. So now we have all of our mechanics covered up, right? And obviously it needs a lint roll. All right, so now with that, we are ready to make this baby pretty. All right, we have officially provided ourselves with a place to put our florals and our ribbon and all the things, and we have covered up all the mechanics to get us here. All right. All right, I'm gonna make sure, I guess you can see in the window a little bit better, or I'm saying in the window. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit better. Sorry about that. Just making sure you can see here. So, well, I guess I had that a little too close to the heat. But again, pool noodle would be another good source for, or a good, not source, but solution for floral foam. All right, so let's talk about this design. All right, you ready? All right, so we're gonna do, you know, it is fall. We're getting ready to get into Christmas. I want this piece to be something that can like kind of transition, right? Can be something that you can put up for all kinds of seasons. All right, so the main color of interest is this berry color. And I'm gonna show you how we're really gonna, it's almost like a cranberry, okay? So I'm gonna show you how we're gonna bring this in. We've got all kinds of fun stuff, all right? And this really matches a lot of the collection that's in Surrey Circle Home with the cranberry and the berry that's coming up for like Christmas, all right? So with that, we're gonna go with gray, okay? So obviously not this whole bush, right? Just a little bit of these things. We're also, so look at these. So we're bringing in that berry, right, with the gray, okay? And I do have just a really budget-friendly peony from Amazon, right, where we can maybe throw in a little couple pops of black. Now, so this is Surrey Circle Home. This is really nice and quality, right? This is budget. All right, now we're going back with quality. This is Pampas. Whoop! But it's like more in this cream color. So I'm doing them like cream and black instead of like white, right? So it's cream, black, and like this burgundy cranberry type of a color, and then some grays. So I love this, right? So this is gorgeous. If you can see that up close, It has like all these flecks of different colors in it. It's gorgeous. And then, so the thing about boho is that you mix things, right? And the mixture of all the different textures and all of that really give it this eclectic vibe, and it gives it this feeling of like anything kind of goes, right? And so that's what I love, is that you can mix up several different colors, several different flowers, several different things, and you can still get the look you're going for, right? So we're not going to use pampas, we're using the phoenix fern, but look at how we can also bring in some height and something else other than pampas, and how it's bringing in that cream and bringing in that burgundy, right? And it's almost like this ombre look, which really calms it down. It'll break things up, be really pretty with interest though, right? So that's where we're going with it. And I've got a couple of other fun things in here, like greenery and things that we're going to work with to make it long and droopy, but this is our basics. And then once we get it a kind of all compiled and beautiful, we're gonna go in and add some pops of this Spanish moss. This is my all-time favorite bush ever. And this is from Surrey Circle Home. So I love this. I think anything, like just how that color adds, and then some Dusty Miller, right? So see how we'll just kind of like soften all of that back up with those deep, rich colors. So that's what we're going in with. And so a simple, come in.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
I had an idea for dinner tomorrow night.
Okay, you're on YouTube, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay.
You know, like like the noodles you use for the ziti?
Mm-hmm.
You should make that with vodka sauce instead.
Okay.
Not ziti, but like just some vodka.
Are you talking about like penne with vodka sauce and shrimp?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What night?
Tomorrow night.
It's another pasta night.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm in the middle of how to be a boho badass, but I'll be happy to make that for you for dinner.
Okay. Thanks. Love you.
Love you.
You coming out, Frank? You coming? Are you coming?
Hi, Maggie. Misty. Hey, you're happy to see. I'm so happy you're here. Thanks for being here. All right. So this is just a Hobby Lobby, you know, nice little special. This was on clearance, and then this color green is going to go really nicely with the colors that we've picked out. So this is going to be some of our drama and length, right? Yeah. Now you see where we're going with it. All right, so just a couple of clips. We don't need a ton. And I'm going to try to go without picking this so that it's not extra long. And it works out just great. So we're just going to build this out in length. Remember, this is the end, right? And so we have one there. We'll put one up around the side. And then I am going to U-pin this down so that it doesn't flare off too much. And I'm going to cut this U-pin so that it's not so long. Just right here. And you're not even going to see this because of all the florals that we're going to use, but then that way it's a little more tame, and you can see how it's building out that edge there. Right? So that's all we need really right now are those two clips. I have a third one cut, but we'll leave it off to the side, right? So this is how quick these little hat wreaths come together. I know I have a lot of product here, but I promise you it's going to be like a little clip, clip, clip. All right. Sweet dinner request. Yes, girl. He has been, that's all he has thought about is food. This was his first week at college. So they had 2 scrimmages this week for baseball, so they didn't make the boys practice today, so they got to come, or he came home since he's close enough. And yes, he is all about the food. That's very, very important to him. He's been like that his whole life. When he was just a little baby, he would, just a little thing, he would eat breakfast and he would say, okay, so what's for lunch? I'm like, we're just eating breakfast. He'd be like, I know, but I want to know. Like, okay. All right, so this is Phoenix Fern. So remember, this is our first session in our How to Be a Boho Badass. Bada, excuse me. Sorry, YouTube. And pampas grass is a big part of boho, right? That whole free-spirited, free-flowing type of style just lends really nicely to pampas grass. However, pampas grass can be very intimidating to design with, especially natural pampas grass. So you can really kind of baby step your way in with things like Phoenix Fern, because Phoenix Fern has that airiness and look of pampas grass, but you can control it and it's tameable because it has wire all the way to the end, unlike pampas grass. So it can kind of get you into getting comfortable with designing with it, and then that's a really good introduction to pampas. So I just kind of went up and down, right? I don't need a ton. I just need some of that added interest, so when it's hanging up and you can see the colors. Yeah, I made ziti tonight because that's his favorite. So I guess that's, now we're going to be on a pasta kick. Whew. All right. And then I'm going to go right here with this one. And I think we can cut up another one into just some singles and do the same thing on the bottom. Okay, help me out here. I don't want to touch the hot glue, so I was, all right, there we go. I'm like covered in these little hot glue strings. Now, at first, I like things kind of coming up and out, and then as I get things into it, if they don't tame themselves down, like I said, the good thing is they're on wire, so you can bend them and all of that. But as I'm making them, especially with boho, I like that it has lift and air and all that good stuff. So, all right, so I'm just gonna clip the end of this, so not the whole bush, and then I'm gonna clip this down, and we'll have like one over here. There we go. And if you have any glue strings that really get kind of stuck to your hat or anything, or really anything that you're making, you can just use a hair dryer, low setting heat gun, something like that to just melt them. All right, I'm here for that. So just some interest, right? So now we have our length, we have a lot of our interest. We're gonna calm that down. Now that's one thing you're gonna have to get used to if you wanna be a boho bada, is the unruliness. That's part of the coolness of it, right? Is that it's like, ooh, okay, like beach hair, right? So some of that you got to embrace, and remember at the end of the design, you can change something up if it's just not laying right, right? But some of it you should embrace, because you just never know. It might really shock you and be one of the most gorgeous elements of the wreath or whatever you're making if you just let it go. Okay? So just let it go. Just keep swimming. That's what I tell my friends. Okay, so this is really long, so this we're gonna add, go down, right? So this is what I meant by you can add length and interest and beauty within boho without using pampas, okay? So we're gonna accomplish it through Phoenix Fern and these, I don't know what these are, but I just love them. And then let's see how we're gonna, I'm gonna cut this down like this so that maybe I can put that in the bow, and then this fits nicer up the top. Okay. Let's cut this one down a little bit. And so when you're cutting something down, if you've not done that before and it's not on a slider, so what you'll do is you'll look for all of your little points to cut, right? And the goal is that you give whatever is on this side of your cut the longest stem possible, right? And whatever is on this side of the cut, you want there to look like there's no stem at all. You want it to look like that's the way it was made, right? So you cut low like that to get the stem, and then this looks like it was made that way, right? So that's a little trick in how to cut down some of your florals. If they're really long, don't be intimidated by that. You can cut them down to the size that you're more comfortable to work with, or that you need to cover the space that you want. So if you see a floral somewhere that's on sale and it's just really big and you're like, oh, I don't know, remember that tip. You can cut it down. All right. And so just like that, right? I don't need a ton of it. So we have some interest there. I'm not done. All right. So next, let's go in with some of these flowers. So now we've added some of the color and interest and greenery. Now we're gonna add some of our bigger substance, right? Now I have ribbon up here and I have full intention of using that ribbon, but a lot of times I'll get making these and sometimes they just don't need a bow. So I know, that's crazy, right? Crazy and wild, but it happens. All right, so let's just cut a couple of pieces each. Hi, Vicky. Oh, you love the colors. Thanks. All right, I'm gonna cut 3 of these kind of more wine burgundy colors. Y'all, this is it. This is it. Mel got me into this color. She was showing me all of her Christmas stuff yesterday or last night, and I was like, ah, I love that. I love it. Okay, so these, she put these on sale. Mel, you still have these? These were $6. Right? Weren't these $6? I think it was 6, or was it 8? Doesn't matter. It was a steal, whatever it was. All right, so I'm gonna take some of these little fun things off of the bush too. I love that about a bush that has multiple, so like these little elements, love those. And we're gonna use them. All right. And then I'm gonna take, I like that one too, right? All right. All right, let's start with that. And then we will work in some black, but I'm thinking we're probably not gonna use the black big peonies. We're probably just gonna use these little pops of hydrangeas for the little, just a little bit of the color, right? Because that black hat is rich enough. We don't need a ton of it, especially if we do get to the ribbon. So I'm just gonna take those little pops of hydrangea off. And I think that we're good with that. All right, so let's go in with that for our flowers and see where that gets us, okay? Reevaluate, right? All right. All right, I'm gonna start out with that wine color first. And it's beautiful. And I love these these leaves. If Stephanie with Honey and Bear Creates was here, she'd be so, so proud of me because I'm using the leaves. She's always talking about how I never use the leaves. I always pick them off. All right, so we're gonna go high with that flower. And kind of just give it a bend. Right? Now let's go in with some of the gray. And I love this color combo. Like I would totally wear this in a sweater or like, you know, a fall outfit. This would be my jam. This would be my jam. Like all I need is some Tom Petty on the radio. Right? All right, we'll go farther down with that. I wanted to lay down there, so we're just gonna let it. We're just gonna let it do its thing. All right, so there's that. Then let's go in with some of this green. right? Just to break that up, and then add in some of this black. I do not like these leaves, so Stephanie would be like, and there's my Heather back. And yes, she is. She is gone nowhere. She's right here. All right, so a little bit of that black to separate some of the color. And then let's go back with a wine or burgundy. I've called this several different colors this whole time. Burgundy, cranberry, wine, whatever it is. Apparently I don't drink wine, but maybe I want some. I'm not sure. All right, I'm going to come over to this side a little bit more with this. All right, and then I'm gonna go up here with that gray. Whoop. Oh, sorry, I can't bend over without saying, oh, it's something happened. You turn 45 and that stuff just happens. And you can see I have built this out without a bow. And that happens. Sometimes. I mean, I've got the perfect ribbon there. I don't know, we can see. Maybe I can work it in, especially right here. I'm gonna try to work it in. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna put some of this green in off to the side though, because it definitely needs that. And then, because it's got the ivy and all the little things, right? All right, let's see what we can do. Love that. So now we're just adding things that are interesting, where people are like, "Ooh, what's that? That looks, what's that?" Right? Just some little things of interest. There we go. All right, let's see what we can do with a bow. See if it looks good or if we want to abandon it. So this is where we're at right now, and this is a good spot for the bow right here. So let's see what it looks like. Not bad. It's cute, right? Needs some stuff though, but it's not, I mean, it's not bad, right? All right, so let's go in with this bow and see what we can do. So we still have some little cuts over here. We want to bring it in. It's a part-time, oh wait. Oh, not, oh wait, you've had an interview this morning about being at home with your kids after being at home with your kids for the, wow, Michelle, that's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, even just for the, like, taking the step, right? Just congratulations on being brave and taking the step. You got this, friend. Lindsay homeschools her kids. I'm homeschooling Crew this year. So I guess you're coming out of homeschool and I'm going in, and yeah, there you go. All right. So this is a Ferrosilk velvet, and you can see this is very, like, it's got a nice floppy feel to it, so it's not going to be real stiff, which I love. And then I have this black and white stripe, but it's in more of like a linen color, so it's not like white with black. And this is also got like kind of like a nice little floppy feel to it, right? Which I thought went really nicely off of the trim on the hat. And then this, which brings in the wine. Now it has a little bit of a gold feel to it, and while maybe I wouldn't normally like that with the gray, this is where I feel like, you know, it's boho. It's like no rules apply. Mixed metals and all of that stuff is just absolutely, totally A-okay. And so I'm here for it. So that's what we're going to do. See what it looks like. Their school year is the day after Labor Day. So I don't have all the things yet for it, but I have a feeling, just knowing Crew and how, like, academically he is super, super smart. So I have a feeling he's going to fly through the schoolwork, which I'm not gonna keep him from. If he works himself ahead, I'm gonna let him. So we'll see. I'm gonna go a little bit smaller. There we go. But not too much because we're gonna sink it down a little bit, but I'm actually alright with that. Let's see. Alright. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Yeah, we're gonna find out like all the resources and all that stuff. We haven't gotten all of that yet. So it's gonna be interesting, but I'd rather it be this than the other. He's just yeah, he shouldn't be in middle school yet. Middle school kids are just not very nice. So, all right. So we're going in over top of that first bow, same exact thing with the second one. I love this ribbon. This ribbon, I'm shocked. I really like this ribbon. I don't know why I didn't think I would like it as much as I do. So, right? Pretty? Okay. We're probably going to dovetail all of these except for this thin one, right? So go in, same thing. And I keep these tails long because we're probably going to curl them. And definitely where this isn't like, it's like more of like an antique type of a gold, and it's not like this shimmer gold. It actually doesn't look out of place. But that wine in it, right? Like just makes it look. All right. All right, there we go. And this is our bow, right? So we'll use some floral wire. There it is. Okay. We'll cinch that together, and I am going to pick this. Thanks. Middle school is such, I know. And where we're in such a small area, middle school for them starts in 4th grade. So he was in middle school last year, and it was it wasn't okay. It wasn't okay. So we're not going to do that again. We'll just, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit excited for it, believe it or not. So, and we have a plan, like, you know, my oldest son, Taylor, he has a gym. He's a MMA and jiu-jitsu. He's an MMA fighter, but he's a jiu-jitsu trainer and stuff like that. And so he's gonna basically do like his PE program for him, which is cool, right? And also teach him a little self-defense and things like that. Build his confidence. So I'm here for that. So, all right. So this is, look at this, nice, long, droopy. Okay. Oop. Just getting a little bit of glue on the end of my pick here. All right, and we're gonna go in right in here. All right. All right, not bad. Now we're gonna put some stuff in the middle of that bow to make it all kind of look cohesive. But first, let's get our tail straight. So on this thinner ribbon, I am gonna reverse curl so that this doesn't fray. So we're gonna do the same on this side. The 2.5 inch ribbons, we're gonna cut in a dovetail. Okay, so So reverse curl, where it's just bent over on itself so you can see the under, and you just do that 2 times. That nice ribbon, or I'm sorry, wire will keep it held down. And then for just good measure, when I'm done, and I know that those are, you know, the ribbon tail lengths that I'm going to have, I use a little dot of glue. Okay. All right, so these we're going to do in a dovetail. So you just pinch the ribbon in half and you cut up to the sky. So you get your little dovetails. Fish tails, some people call them fish tails. Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to do is, this is going to get a little curl. So this is a deco mesh tube. So if you make deco mesh wreaths, you will have these. If you don't, then you can always use like your aluminum foil roll, which will be smaller like this. Paper towel rolls aren't quite sturdy enough, but maybe if you took a paper towel roll and wrapped it in like duct tape or something like that, it would be good. So we're just gonna have this so you can still see the flowers, but this ribbon's just kind of all cascading down. All right, and let's see, does any of this, let's see if any of this will hold just a little bit of a curl. Nothing crazy, but just a little. Yeah, just a little bit. We'll just make this go in like that. And then we'll go like this. Yeah, I hope it's a much better year from him. Last year was really rough. I am not gonna lie. All right, so we need some pops of black. We need some stuff inside of the middle of our bow. So I'm gonna first go in with some of this greenery that I love. We're almost done here, friends. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see it. So what I do is I go in either right above the bow, and then I take the wire of the greenery, here if I can say it right, goodness gracious, and then I bend it. Let's see, this leaf is in my way. And then I bend it so it looks like it's coming over the bow, which I had to get on the other side of a leaf, so that didn't really work out there with that one. So hold on. Oops, pull that out. Let's try this again. So I went right in above it. So I'm gonna use this black because I like all of that stuff on it. So we'll push that up to the end. I give myself still enough wire, right? So there we go. So I go right in. It's like right underneath where the bow is. So it'll go in the floral foam, and then I just bend it so it looks like it's coming out of the middle of the bow, but it's not. It's not glued into the bow or anything. It's secured right underneath of it. And then that way you don't have to worry about it falling out or anything like that, like at the glue, because it's in the floral foam. And there you go. All right, so let's look at this. It does need like another little, let's see. Let's go in with maybe like some of that over to the side. All right. Hit it. There we go. So that. All right. Well, let's see. Might need like a little piece of Phoenix burn off on this side, but let's see what we look like. So there you go. Now, I didn't come over on this as much as I thought I would, so let's do that though, because I don't want to see, that. And I also still want to add, most specifically, at least 2 things. I want the Spanish moss in there, and I want a couple of the pops of this beige pampas, okay? All right, so let's put this in there. That's gonna help camouflage up here. That was kind of where I was thinking that was gonna go, but I didn't go that far over. Like that. Okay. Whoop. There we go. There we go. I like that. All right, and then let me come back to some of this Phoenix fern. Right? Some of this Phoenix fern. We've got just a couple of spots to add. This is the one I already cut off of. So let's see. Let's go up here with this one. Much better. Now you can, all of that is hidden a little bit, and then go in, it needs a little bit of greenery up there too. So this is nice and airy. I love this. This is Dusty Miller. This is also from Surrey Circle Home. I love this, and I grow this in my garden too. Dusty Miller, so pretty. It's like a lamb's ear type of a color, but it's a little more like flirty and flowy. Where lamb's ear is like more compact and dense. So I dig it. I love that. Okay, let's add another one down here. So you gotta make sure it looks like it was meant to be. Right? You gotta repeat it. Alright, so let's go down here with this Dusty Miller. Fighting for real estate. There we go. And I found it. All right. Now make sure we work this around. All right. I like that. All right, let's see. I was going to put this little piece of Phoenix off to the side here. So you can see that kind of coming off. Ugh, there we go. It's like I'm running out of something to push. There we go. All right. All right, let's see if we've got enough room for a couple of those little beige pops of pampas. And this baby, I told you she was going to get stuffed. Look at her. So there you go. I mean, you could stop anywhere you want to, right? You know I'm not gonna. But we might cut this down just a little bit here. Doesn't need to droop that far over. So there we go. That looks a little bit better. So it's not so far over, right? And then this would actually lighten up in here. I don't know. I really love that beige pampas, but I'm thinking this baby might be too full. So we can hold that. All right. I think we'll hold it. We'll hold it. It's stuffed. She's stuffed. Put a pin in it. She's stuffed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, there we go. So this is the first of our boho Bada is making a boho wreath or hat wreath. So, I'll make sure if you have any questions, I'll come back and check it. And this is the back where we covered up our mechanics. There we go. So beginning to end, there you go. You got all you need. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I love it. We'll come back next week and we're gonna work with a hoop wreath. So we're gonna start working with that, and that'll be one that we'll use a pool noodle on to show how you can use a pool noodle to hold all your florals and stuff like that. So, and we'll do that one with mostly succulents. So we're gonna make that one way less of the over the top florals and things like that, and more on the succulent and rustic vibe. So I appreciate you being here. Thanks. All right, I'm gonna go have myself some dinner. I cooked dinner and I didn't get to eat it, right? Isn't that what happens to us mamas? I hope that there is some still left. I made baked ziti. What'd y'all have for dinner? So, all right, YouTube. It was fun. I'll see you next Friday. Bye.